Someone you've never met probably knows where you slept last night, and they're selling that fact as a product. Imagine a hidden marketplace where your bits of life are the inventory. Names, addresses, purchase histories, and location trails get packaged into neat dossiers. You don't buy anything, you're the product. These companies are called data brokers. They operate B2B, invisible to most users, and they make billions stitching tiny clues into a full picture. Ready to see where those clues come from and why it matters? A data broker is a middleman for personal information. They buy, scrape, and trade records from dozens of sources. They don't sell ads directly to you. They sell profiles to advertisers, insurers, lenders, campaigns, and sometimes governments. The key detail: you are rarely the customer. That business model, collect, enrich, resell, explains why your name can appear on lists you never signed up for. So where does all this raw material come from? Data flows from public records like deeds and court filings, from receipts and loyalty cards, and from apps that ping your location constantly. Trackers on websites stitch visits across devices. Companies share lists with partners, and offline surveys and mailers feed the same machine. Think of each source as a single tile. Alone, it's muddy, but brokers assemble thousands of tiles into a clear portrait. That assembly has a name: the mosaic effect. What does the finished portrait actually show? A typical broker profile reads like a mini biography: names and past addresses, phone numbers, device IDs, household size, likely income range, frequent locations, recent purchases, and inferred life events. It can even include scores that predict behavior. Some profiles flag you as a likely new parent, a potential car buyer, or credit vulnerable. Those inferences are often wrong, but they stick. Which parts are most dangerous? The next scene shows the sensitive inferences that can ruin lives. Sensitive inferences are the worst. Health interests, religious attendance, political leanings, or visits to clinics can be guessed from patterns. In the US, many of those signals sit outside strict health privacy laws, so they're free to be bought and sold. Regulators have accused brokers of selling precise location data that revealed clinic visits. That case proved location equals context, and context can expose the private moments of your life. How do buyers use those dossiers? The largest use is targeted advertising. Advertisers buy segments like likely movers or luxury shoppers and run tailored campaigns. That explains why ads can feel like they read your mind. But selling ad segments is only the surface. Brokers also fuel personalization engines, feed risk models, enable political micro-targeting, and provide raw lists to anyone who pays. These multiple uses multiply harm. Next, we'll unpack price steering and personalization, and why it can cost you money or opportunity. Personalization sometimes becomes price steering. Companies can offer different prices or deals based on inferred spending power or perceived loyalty. That means two neighbors could see different offers for the same product. It's hard to challenge because the decision may come from a third-party score you never saw. This opaque split in offers fuels inequality. Next is a subtle threat: identity and risk scores built from non-credit data that affect eligibility behind the scenes. Many firms create propensity and risk scores using variables outside regulated credit reports. Businesses use these scores for pre-qualification, fraud flags, and marketing. The problem: those scores aren't covered by the Fair Credit Reporting Act, so you lack dispute rights. An error can silently deny you a better loan or a job lead. This shadow scoring spreads into politics. So let's look at how campaigns exploit brokered data next. Political campaigns buy microsegments to target persuadable voters. They combine donation histories, issue interest, and inferred ideology to craft narrow messages. That allows campaigns to show different narratives to different people, sometimes hiding manipulation from the public eye. The opaqueness makes auditing nearly impossible. And it's not only private buyers. Governments and law enforcement can acquire similar data sets. That raises constitutional and oversight questions we'll explore next. Some agencies buy commercial data sets instead of seeking warrants. That can shortcut legal safeguards and expand surveillance without transparent oversight. Sales to governments vary by jurisdiction and policy. Meanwhile, criminals also use brokered data. Scammers purchase breached lists to craft precise phishing and identity theft attacks. A leaked broker database becomes fuel for fraud for years. So what are the concrete harms people face in the real world? Harms include stalking, doxing, and amplified scams. Survivors and public figures can see private addresses go public via people search sites. Insurance and lending decisions may turn on opaque inferences, excluding vulnerable groups. Medical privacy leaks threaten stigma and employment. And once brokered data leaks, it spreads. There's no undo button. These are not hypothetical threats. Now let's cover the legal patchwork that offers some protections and where it falls short. Privacy law today is a patchwork. In the U.S., state laws like California's CCPA and CPRA give rights to know, delete, and opt out of sales. Some states require data broker registries, but rules vary widely. Sectoral laws like HIPAA protect medical records for covered entities, but many trackers and apps fall outside these rules. The result: partial protections and large gaps. What stronger rules exist overseas? The next scene explains the GDPR and its powers. The EU's GDPR gives broad rights: access, correction, deletion, and objection to processing. Companies need legal grounds to process sensitive data. That shifts power to individuals more than most U.S. laws do. But enforcement varies, and multinational companies sometimes extend similar rights voluntarily elsewhere. Sectoral rules like the FCRA and HIPAA still matter for credit and health contexts. Ready for a practical prioritized plan you can use this week? Start with the big, high-impact moves. First, freeze your credit at the major bureaus to stop new accounts in your name. Second, opt out of people search sites and big brokers using automation tools or your state registry. Third, lock down mobile tracking, review app permissions, disable background location, and use Apple and Android privacy controls. Those 3 moves cut the most immediate risk. Want the rest of the checklist? Next batch, send global privacy control signals from your browser to opt out where laws require treatment. Block third-party cookies and add content blockers. Use alias emails and virtual phone numbers for signups. Skip loyalty programs that trade data for discounts. Turn off unnecessary Bluetooth and location services. Small habits add up. Before we finish the checklist, here's a simple routine to keep all this manageable week to week. Set a 30-minute weekly privacy power-up. Clear cookies, review permissions, renew opt-outs, and check "Have I been pwned" for breaches. Enable 2-factor authentication everywhere and turn on banking alerts. Use Google's tool to request removal of exposed personal info from search results. These habits turn a big problem into manageable maintenance. Up next, how regulators, advocacy groups, and your actions can shift the industry at scale. Regulators like the FTC and state attorneys general are suing and rulemaking. Advocacy groups publish tools and push for stronger laws. You can help by using opt-out signals, contacting representatives for comprehensive privacy rules, and supporting groups that audit tracking practices. Businesses can demand contracts that forbid resale and limit vendor access. Collective action changes incentives, but myths about privacy slow momentum. Let's debunk the biggest ones quickly. Myth: incognito mode protects you. Fact: it only clears local traces. Myth: anonymous data is safe. Fact: re-identification is often possible. Myth: I have nothing to hide. Fact: privacy is control over your life's details. Myth: deleting one app solves it. Fact: brokers pull from many sources. Understanding facts helps prioritize action. Want a quick FAQ on the questions people actually ask about brokers and tools? FAQ snapshot. VPNs hide your IP, but don't stop cookies or device IDs. GDPR covers EU residents. Some companies extend rights elsewhere. HIPAA rarely covers consumer health apps. Yes, you can remove data, but it takes repetition. No, credit bureaus are not the same as brokers. If you do one thing today, freeze your credit and start quarterly opt-out checks. Ready to try one practical step right now? We've pulled back the curtain. Brokers assemble tiny traces into durable profiles. Those profiles fuel advertising, scoring, political persuasion, and fraud. And the legal defenses are partial but growing. You don't need to go off-grid. Prioritize freezes, opt-outs, app permissions, and a weekly privacy maintenance habit. Start with one step now and build momentum. If you want a printable checklist and links to the tools I mentioned, keep watching the description and act today. If this helped, hit like and subscribe for weekly privacy guides. Comment with one privacy step you'll try this week so others can copy it.